Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Hugo, and today we're going to see what's going to be the best stocks for this week. It's not going to be the mini series V, which was one of the series that I loved, but it's going to be actually the stock V, and we're going to look in a few minutes. We're also going to talk about the portfolio and do some market analysis for this month of May. So stay around. Before we start the video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Only 3.9% of my viewers are subscribers, and I need your help to reach that 1000 subscribers. So smash that button. Let's get back to the video. For this week, this is going to be the only stock that we have around the 5% of dividend yields. All the others are below 4%. They don't pay quarterly, they pay only annually, which are stocks that I really don't like, and usually I don't promote those stocks. Verdano Realty Trust, they pay quarterly January, May, August, and November. They are undervalued in 37.6%, and the ex-dividend date is on the 6th of May. The financial health is 3G. They are quite good in terms of financial health. Bear in mind, this is a stock that has real estate office, so they rent offices, and in the coming months, due to the COVID, they're not being too much profitable, or the income is not being so much as as if we didn't have the COVID. As soon as the people start to go to the office, as soon this becomes more the norm, this stock may raise, and there's a growth around, estimation growth around 134% for this stock. So this is a really nice stock, not only as a growth stock, but also as a dividend stock that's going to pay us every single quarter around the 6.63%, which can increase in upcoming months or in the upcoming quarters. We have a market sentiment as a buy, which is quite good, and they are being fluctuating around this value. They don't being increased too much, and they didn't increase so much, so they are a quite stable stock. Regarding fluctuation and regarding volatility, they're not have too much of an impact. So now let's see other stocks that's going to fall this week as well. So for this week, we're going to have Intel with a 2.42%, going to be on May 5th. We're going to have also Walmart with 1.57% on the 5th of May. We're going to have Pfizer as well with a 4.04% on the 5th of May. And we're going to have Apple with a dividend yield of 0.67% with the ex-dividend date on the 6th of May. And on the 9th of May, we're going to have Energy Transfer with a higher dividend yield for this week, which is 6.9%, which I'm not including on this week because I already spoke about this stock in the past quarter. You can look for the videos. You'll see videos about it and how it's been performing along the years. So now let's look into some graphs, and let's look into what's going to happen for this month of May, the tendency, and we're going to do a deep dive analysis on the SP 500 on BT. So now let's jump into the graphs. For this month, I already selected here May. This is going to be an analysis for the last 5 years, where I'm selecting here May, and we're going to see what is going to be the tendency. So we're going to have a tendency of growth for this month. Usually we had a lot of growth because there's a lot of stocks that the ex-dividend dates is during this month, so that's why we're going to have a lot of increases, and probably the SP 500 is going to reach another record time. Let's see this in a further graph to see if they actually is a correct assumption. We're going to have the first week is going to be down. Probably we had a big increase this week, and probably the next week's going to have a really good increase. As we can see here on the BTC, we had a really good increase. On the SP 500 as well, more towards the end of the week. Usually Friday has been nice days. So, and we're going to follow this tendency of growth for the next month. Let's now get more deep analysis on the graph. So this is exactly the same graph that I left on the last week. So we did see the tendency. We calculate correctly the tendency for the last week, but for this month, we assuming that the MC here is going to do a shift. It looks like we may see a fall, a continued fall, or probably going to fall again during this month. This tendency of this line, and probably we're not going to drop for the 41k. We may reach the 43k during this week or until the end of the month. probably going to reach the 43k, and more towards the end of this upline over here. Probably going to have a breakout, so we're going to have some tests here, and then we're going to have a breakout until the end of the month. We're going to see a tendency here on the MACD where it's going to turn bearish, and then probably we're going to turn as a bull market more towards the end of this week or the end of the month. So shifting this for an hour, we have here a bearish market. We're still going to see a fall during this week because the market still in the fall. It's around minus 0.1% or minus 0.5%. We're going to start to see a bull market more towards the end of the week. So you're going to start to have something like this more towards the end of the week. So we have here probably a week of space between this period, and then we're going to start to have more towards the end. So I do think this is going to be a positive month, and here is going to be exactly the same thing. So we get a decrease. We're going to follow this line, but then we're going to start to reach again the points. Probably this is going to be more sudden than this, and then exactly the opposite. And we may follow the exactly same tendency that we've done the last period this happened. So for this week, I still think that the SP 500 is going to fall around 0.5%, and more towards the end of the month, we're going to have increase, and we're going to start to see a bull market until August or so. In terms of BTC, probably this is going to follow this tendency, I hope. So we had the big falls here and here and here, and I do think this is going to do something like this for the next coming week or month, and probably we're going to reach the 60k for sure. Let's see what's going to happen this week if you're going to follow this tendency. Although we're still going up, and the support now is going to be around the 50k. So I am assuming this is not going to continue going down for the 45k or something like that happened before. We had here a few supports now at 50k, so it's for sure that this is going to go up. If it's a good time to buy, I don't know. Probably we need to wait. We need also to wait what's going to happen with the SP 500, the crypto and the SP 500. They are quite end to end. So when one fall, the other one fall as well. So we need to keep an eye of what's going to happen with the SP 500. If it falls, probably the BTC will fall as well, but I doubt it. So we're going to have a really positive month of May. If you want to copy me, don't forget to look for my nickname. You can look for Knight, and you can copy all my trades, all my open trades. I recommend to start with around $1,000. If you want the minimum of 500, probably some of the trades may not be copied. Any question that you have, please don't forget to leave a comment. I can reply to you as soon as possible and help you in any questions that you may have. The portfolio performance for this week, the US market went down with a 0.01%. My portfolio had an increase of 1.61%. This is also due to the average that I've done last week on Palantir and the other stocks like Corsair, etc., that had a big increase. And this also is due to the fact of the crypto having a big increase during this week, which had a big fall around 15% the previous week. So this 1.6% is also to the increase of the crypto. The portfolio growth is now around 18%. The past 2 weeks we had a fall. We had around 70% around 3 weeks ago. We went to 16%. Last week we went to 15%, and now we have around of increase around 18%, 0.16, which is quite good from since inception, which is quite good. The top 5 stocks for this week was Facebook with an increase of 7.95%, Energy Transfer with an increase of 5.13%, an ETF which is XLE with an increase of 3.89%. Bear in mind that last week the energy sector had a big impact, and this week we had a really good increase on the energy sector. The BP, British Petroleum, has also an increase of 3.73%. BP and IAG are only the 2 British stocks that I have in my portfolio that had a positive impact this week. For example, bots was terrible impact. They had around minus 7% of performance. I did put open order to do some average, but didn't reach the values that I wanted. So at the moment we are around 0.5% or something like that. And I'm going to leave. And if it reaches lower than that, fine. If it's going to increase, I maybe going to sell. These are also some other stocks that I want to sell, like Palantir and Corsair, and I want to invest on other stocks for this week, which I'm going to do some deposits in order to invest in Disney, for example, which is one that I have under my eyes for a long time. In terms of the other performance indicators and actions, this week we did receive a payment this Saturday, but I still don't have access because the report only shows me the day before, and I can't have access on eToro still, but I'll update this as soon as I have that information. The new acquisitions, we didn't have none. Open orders, we didn't have none so far because I already spent all the balance and I'm going to do another deposit, as I mentioned before. In terms of averaging, we've done Intel and Twitter. Twitter went down around 10%, so I think was a nice time to buy. And Intel as well, I didn't have it in my portfolio before, had a big decrease as soon as they report the earnings, was really down, and I think was a nice time to buy because they were minus 9% of decrease, and was a nice time to get in with the Intel. And bear in mind that Intel as well, the next dividend date is going to be this week on the 6th of May. So it was a really good thing to combine two things, which is the ex-dividend date to get on time, and also the good price that they have. And bear in mind they may increase this week as well because of the ex-dividend date. The top payers is still going to be Energy Transfer. The top dividend yield is still Realm with 14.46%. And the portfolio is still undervalued 36.7%, so we had an increase of 1% from last week. And in terms of portfolio future growth, we had a slight decrease from 25% to 19.7%. I don't know quite well what was the impact for going from 25% to 19%. I do believe we had a lot of earnings reports this week, and this probably got impacted because of that. The stock with the highest volatility is going to be PFG, and the stock with the lowest volatility is still Unilever. So this didn't change for a long time. So now let's look into the spreadsheets where you can copy my trades and you can check how much you can win per month. So once again, if you are seeing this spreadsheet for the first time, the link is on the description. You can copy, you can use it for your trades, and you can see when you're going to receive every single month. This week we didn't have any payments, so that's why I didn't put anything here in yellow. I'm still waiting for the information, and as soon as I have that information, I will going to update this spreadsheet and put here a mark in yellow, meaning that payment was received this week. So as you can see here, we had the Intel as average and Twitter as well as average. So at the moment the balance is going to be 0, and as soon as I do the deposits, this is going to change, and these are still we have the increase here in these two stocks for this week. So one of the things that you can do also is test your copy. So you can put here $500. Bear in mind that some of the copies will not be copied because they don't reach the 1% or at least the $2. So that's why you need to use at least, or I recommend you to use at least $1,000. So to make sure that all the copies are going to be done, and all the trades that I've done, they're also going to be copied. Here you can check when you're going to get paid. Some of the stocks, as you can see, eToro doesn't pay on the same month. They usually pay on the next month. So for this month, we get a lot of money to receive. Of course, this is not going to be paid, most of it's not going to be paid in May. It's going to be paid in June. So I'm hoping a lot of transactions be done in June, and a lot of money is going to come in for June related to May. Once again, I hope you enjoy this week's tips. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, to follow, and to click on the bell so you can receive upcoming videos. Also, if you want to leave any comment, please leave it there, and I will try to reply as soon as possible. And I hope you guys to see you next week. So have a nice week, and cheers. Bye bye.